This is the Louie T Network. Hey, either you're outside or you're
in the lab room.
Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie T? Welcome. You are in the lab room. Of course, I am your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Week number 16 in the National Football League. Carolina Panthers at home taking on the Cleveland Browns. Huge one for the Panthers because, hey, hasn't been pretty this season. In fact, I was on it. Look, I'm not going to lie to you. I had the pitchfork and I had the torch in the other hand. I was ready to roast Ron Rivera's ass. I wanted him gone. But as we show up in Week 16, if the Panthers win, coupled with the Falcons win in New Orleans, Week 17, winner takes all, NFC South Division title on the line. But before you could look forward to that matchup in Week 17, you got to take care of these pesky Browns in front of you. Now look, you've got a very advantageous situation in front of you. They're starting Jonathan Football, okay? Jonathan Pigskin is getting a start for the second week in a row. He's very wet behind the ears, breath smelling like Similac. He doesn't know what this league has in store for him. You've got a chance to pounce on him, shut him down like the Bengals shut him down the week previous, get you a win, and go to Atlanta and see if you can't get this division and do what you did a season ago, win the NFC South. For Cleveland, it's been a rough ride the second half of the season. This team was once 6-3 on the season. Now we sit here 7-7. They've been 1-4 in the last 5 games, and that's how we found ourselves to this fate which sees them not even in the postseason race any longer at 7-7. Now they're just playing for pride. Now they're playing for a winning record. Now they're just trying to save face this season. They've moved on to the Johnny Manziel era of football in Cleveland. Let's see how it was to unfold. Cam Newton, fresh off of that injury with the car accident, he's playing in this game. Derek Anderson able to get it done last week to set up this huge stage for them this week. So how would it unfold? Let's go to BOA and check it out. Ground game, vital in the first score of the game for the Panthers. Cam Newton, I talked about this before the injury with the car accident, that he looked as spry as he has looked all season long against New Orleans. You were starting to see him be able to run the football. He was throwing the football well. I just thought that this offense, for the first time in a long time, was starting to look credible again. And the focal point was him being able to move and be mobile, because early in the season, you could tell he was being hampered by the rib injury, but more importantly, the ankle was still bothering him from the surgery. Now I think the ankle isn't an issue any longer. I think he's learned to play with the cracked ribs. They're starting to heal a little bit. And now with the back injury, I think he's probably taking a shot for it, but either way, he still looks good. I was surprised because I thought that the back injury would hamper him somewhat, but he still looks to be running well, and he was running well on that possession. Jay Stu, a guy, again, I had the pitchfork in one hand, and I had the torch in the other. I wanted Jay Stu out in Carolina. One of the fans told me, doesn't make any sense to get rid of him. It would be too big of a cap hit to release him. You might as well hold on to him. He never stays healthy, but he's been healthy for the second half of the season, and he's been the most productive offensive player the last month of football for this Panthers team. He continued to run the football well in this game and had an impact with a touchdown later on. We'll talk about that. But Jay Stu also had some yards on this drive, helped them get into field goal range. Graham Gano able to connect from 23 yards out. Missed earlier from 46, so making amends for the miss. It's 3-0 Carolina on top in this game. Josh Gordon continues to be a disappointment since coming back off the suspension for the Browns. I think that the team has struggled having him integrate back into the offense. I think the team played very well in his absence. When he came back, that's when you saw Brian Hoyer, Billy Ho, as I like to call him, struggle throwing the football. Billy Ho started to try to force feed Josh Gordon the football. Your end result, turnovers, stagnant offense, and this team starting to lose football games. No fluidity offensively, and now Jonathan Football finally gets a solid drive going, is able to move the team down the field, made some really good throws, including a slant to Josh Gordon on 3rd down, which he drops. At first, they ruled it a catch. They go back and look at it on replay, and Rivera does challenge and wins the challenge. It's incomplete. Gotta have that. It was a good throw by Manziel. Should have been caught. Should have moved the sticks. They would have been inside the Panthers' 20-yard line. Instead, he drops it. It's now 4th down. They got to settle for a field goal. It's knotted up at 3 apiece after the field goal that takes us to the 2nd quarter. It's 3-all in this football game. Cam leads the Panthers down the field and finishes the drive off with a bootleg, calling his own number, scampers into the end zone to give the Panthers a 10-3 lead. Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. Nope, it's number 1. And Cam is his name. Super Cam gets in the end zone. Haven't been able to do that for a while. Feels good to see the young fella get back into the end zone having fun. It's 10-3. Panthers on top. Jonathan Football goes down with an injury. I heard Cam Newton after the game say that the crowd was cheering his injury. I don't know how true it was. I didn't really hear that watching the telecast. Doesn't matter whether they did or didn't. You hate to see fans react that way, but if they did, it really doesn't matter to me. He's going out of the game. And so in comes Brian Hoyer. And really to me, if you're a Panthers fan, you had to be upset that Johnny Laces went down, because to me, if Johnny Pigskin is in the game, that gives you the best opportunity to win. I mean, my man Luke Kuechly was tracking this man down the entire game. Okay, Luke Kuechly was everywhere that Johnny was, and he was smashing him. So, you know, Johnny's going to make mistakes. He's not going to read the defenses well. He's going to try to use his legs because he's going to panic. These are all things that feed right into the hands of the Panthers defense. You want him in the game. Billy Ho comes in. He's not running anywhere. Billy Ho's going to try to stand in the pocket, stand tall, and make some things happen down the field, which is your worst nightmare. You don't want that. So, to me, Johnny leaving the football game was not good. That was actually a bad thing, because the quarterback that gives the Browns the best opportunity to win is Billy Ho. So I was like, that's not what you want. This ain't what you want, but it's what you're going to get, because Jonathan Football would not return to the game. So that's your halftime score, 10-3, Panthers up. No Johnny Manziel for the remainder of the game. We go to the 3rd quarter. Cam with a bad interception. And these are the plays you have to avoid if you're Cam Newton. You're in the pocket. Pressure comes. Carlos Dansby is tracking you down. You can't run backwards 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage and then try to throw a half-hearted attempt to someone that's no one's there. Get the ball out of bounds. And I think it was him trying to get the ball out of bounds back to the line of scrimmage. He couldn't get enough on it. And a great play by Billy Wynn. I don't want to understate how big of a play this was, how great of a play this was. This is a defensive lineman we're talking about here. And Billy Wynn diving for the football, catching it, not allowing it, I should say, to hit the ground. And just an excellent play by a defensive lineman. And the Panthers were actually fortunate here, because his teammate Jordan Poyer comes and takes the football from him and runs for a touchdown. The officials ruled that Wynn gave himself up by not trying to get up off the ground. Had Poyer gotten there half a second sooner, this is a touchdown, instead of them ruling that it's a man giving himself up on the interception because he didn't attempt to get up. So you got a break here. Cam can't do this, especially next week against Atlanta, trying to win the division. You can't make boneheaded decisions like this. These are the type of plays that can cost you a ball game. Next week, that interception actually led to a field goal. It's now 10-6. Panthers ahead, but now it's only a 4-point lead. We head to the 4th quarter. Panthers avoid 2 disasters on fumbles. Cam fumbles once as he's hit trying to get away from the rush. Ball comes out. It's pounced on by Byron Bell, so no harm, no foul there. Then Philly Brown fumbles the football. It's recovered by the Browns, but replay overturns it. Forearm was down before the ball came loose. So you're able to avoid disaster again. However, you could not avoid an 81-yard touchdown strike from Billy Ho to JC Money. JC Money getting in the Panthers secondary and getting loose for an 81-yard touchdown as Jordan Cameron is able to get by safety. And look, Roman Harper is not known for his coverage skills. He got caught looking in the backfield. Jordan Cameron gets by him, and they can't catch him. 81 yards later, he finds pay dirt. And for the first time in this game, the Cleveland Browns have a lead at 13-10. Cam orchestrates a touchdown drive, hitting guys he hadn't hit all game long. Like Greg-O! Which I find it hard to believe that we're in the fourth quarter and Greg Olsen hasn't touched the football in this game, but that was the case. Greg-O has a nice completion down the sidelines. Then he hits Burnson down the sidelines, a pass that was ruled incomplete initially. They come back and review it. It is a catch. That puts the ball inside the 10-yard line, and then Cam is able to find Jay Stu on a busted play. He's getting outside the pocket. He's trying to elude some rushers. Jay Stu leaks out into the route, finds himself open, uncovers, backs into the end zone where Cam hits him with a dart in the end zone. 7-yard touchdown pass. Panthers retake the lead at 17-13. I've talked about Jay Stu and his big play down the stretch. Here's another example of him doing some things to help this team win. In the last month, he's been outstanding for this Panthers offense. He continues to be that way in this game. 17-10 Panthers down the stretch. Hell of a play by Josh Norman. Look, I like this young fella's ability. To me, he doesn't have it quite up here. He's one taco short of a combination plate up here. But as a physical specimen, I like this young fella. He's physical, he tackles, he'll make plays. This was a hell of a play to dive, extend for the football. He looked like a receiver catching this ball. Then he gets up. And somebody told this young fella, because he's wearing 24, he's Charles Woodson. So he gets up, and he's palming the football with one hand. What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? There's one guy on this defense that I always see Thomas Davis fussing at. I always see one of the leaders on this team fussing at because he's picking up a boneheaded penalty, getting in somebody's face and talking trash. It's always Josh Norman. It's always 24. And so he's got the football, and I'm saying to myself, hey, man, put it away. Put it away. Put it away. You're getting around trash. Put it away. And then he tries to half-heartedly put it away at the end. Here comes Travis Benjamin, a receiver for the Browns. He pokes it free. Not only does he force the fumble, but he recovers it. You don't want the cookies, do you? So give me the cookies, man. Give me the cookies, Josh Norman. Yum, yum, eat them up. Yum, yum, eat them up. Give me those cookies. You don't want them. You don't know what to do with them. Give them to me. And so Travis Benjamin takes the football back, gives the Browns new life in this game. However, Panthers able to put the clamps down defensively, get the football back, and they're able to get a huge play to get a first down, another one for Jay Stu to wrap this game up. And I told you he was huge in this game. Beautiful cutback by Jay Stu on a run. Greg Olsen with an excellent kick-out block to allow him to cut back and have the vision to see that cutback lane. Cuts it across and against the grain. Gets about a good 35 on the play inside Browns territory. And that was all she wrote, as now the best formation in all of football, the victory formation, is what the Panthers were able to line up in as they win this game 17-13 and force a Week 17 showdown for the NFC South crown. Look, this division hasn't been pretty all year long, but somebody's getting a ticket to the dance. And the Panthers have put their name in the hat as a team looking to get that free punch ticket to that dance. We'll see what happens in Week 17. Panthers have done what they needed to do at 6-8-1. They have a shot to win this division in Atlanta, Week 17. That's going to be a doozy. For the Cleveland Browns, you fall to 7-8 now. Who would have thought this team would have fallen on such hard times after starting the season 6-3? I didn't think this was a playoff team even when they were 6-3, but you had to recognize that they were playing good football. I still thought they would find a way to finish this season at 8-8 at worst. Right now, they're at 7-8, and with the Ravens needing to win next week to even have a chance, hard for me to believe they're going to win next week. But I will say this, if you want to take one positive from this game, I haven't seen this guy all year. He may have been playing. I just may have missed him. But I tell you who showed up big time in this game. The French assassin, Pierre Desir, looked damn good in this game. He was running around the field. His size against a guy like Calvin Benjamin was huge. He was running around the field making plays. Benjamin made a couple of catches, but they were all contested. I like Pierre Desir. He looks like a ball player for you moving forward. That's something that's a positive you can take from this defeat if you are the Browns. That's going to do it for Browns and Panthers. And thank you for joining me. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the lab room. Come back and join me as I continue to break down week number 16 in the National Football League. See you. Big.
In the lab.